Morning, everyone, or evening, or afternoon, wherever you are. I just got up, just rolled out of bed, finished this book late last night, and I wanted to get to it first thing this morning. It was a really good book. It was new to me to read, so that was good. I've been doing all these rereads. Um, but anyways, welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina, Kristina. This is where we read books and we talk about books. No special effects going on here. Um, so if you could please hit the like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. If you could please check out my If Then on Fridays. If you like this author, then maybe like that author. We did steampunk the other day. We did vampires. We did werewolves. We did fae. We did cozy cooking. We're gonna do cozy up the yin yang in the next couple of weeks. We did homicides, and we did. We're gonna do some more detectives. We did Regency with the Bridgertons. Please check all those out. I did Black Authors, which nobody is watching. I would appreciate people watching that one. I also did Native American Detectives with Hillerman, and no one is watching those either. I work really hard on this. I don't know what it is with YouTube, but every I on average my big intake is 10 10 views is usually my huge. Other channels get hundreds and hundreds, and I would love to have hundreds and hundreds, but my average is 10. And I'll get views, and then zip, zero, zilch, nobody. YouTube shows it to zero peeps because it gets the 2 views that I know who they are. They're me, and that's it. Nothing else. Nobody sees those videos. And then we get views, and then nobody sees the videos. And whatever happens to end up on that day doesn't get any views. It's just really weird. But anyways, so please check out Star Trek Next Generation recaps on Fridays, my If Then Friday afternoons, and Flashback Monday, where we talk about all the books in this magazine, try and do at least 5 or 6 from each genre, see what I can get my hands on. Historical romance, contemporary romance, paranormal, inspirational, harlequin, mystery, romantic suspense, harlequin, paranormal, and erotica. Try to hit them all. So please tune in to all of my Flashback Mondays. We started with 2007. We're going to go through to 2016, and then we'll start some specials after that. We and also my daily book reviews. We are doing James Patterson's Alex Cross series. We just finished up Victoria Thompson's Gaslight series. And what did I just saw it. We are starting, we're going to be starting C.S. Harris, uh, St. Sebastian series. And we are doing J.R. Ward's Black Dagger Brotherhood. And today we are talking about the Savior. And it was really, really good. We have a new character. His name is Murder, and apparently he was part of the Brotherhood way back when he was a brother, and he was really, really good friends with Darius. And he discovered he knew Zex, and he knew Zex from way back when. And Zex has passed. She was abused by these people. Okay, so let me back up here just a little bit. Let me see if I can get this going here. So, we get to meet this new character, Murder. Then we get to meet Sarah Watkins. She works for a medical research facility that may or may not be doing legitimate above board research. In fact, they may be doing illegal research. In fact, they may be doing illegal research on vampires. So she was engaged to be married to this guy. And then all of a sudden, this guy locks himself in his office and becomes totally 100% consumed by his work. And then he suddenly dies, and she's left all alone. And she doesn't know what's going on, and she's just functioning, living day by day, no social environment, no family, no friends to rely on after his death. And she's just coping day by day by day. And then this FBI agent shows up on her doorstep, and he has some questions, and she really doesn't know anything. And she hasn't the they showed up one day and took her boyfriend's fiance's computer equipment, and she has not been in the room since. She has never gone in the room since. They went in, they took the tower, and that was it. They left the monitor, the printer, the wire, everything else, but they just took the hard drive. So she's going through all this stuff with him, and we're not sure what Sarah's role is at this juncture. We just know that she works for the biomed company, and um, that she's still mourning her fiance. Then John, we're back with the Brotherhood, and they're still having this issue with the shadows. The shadows that are killing people, that are, you know, eating their souls alive. I think I had um a piece of that. Maybe that was the last book. But they eat the entire person and just leave their clothes. And John is out on the streets, and he gets attacked, and Murder and him solve the situation, and Murder enjoys working with actually, I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. I need to back up. I'm uh getting too far ahead. I need to back up. So John and Blay are out on patrol, and John gets bitten by one of the shadows, and he gets a wound, and he meets up with Zex later, and Hot doesn't take his shirt off when they have stuff. And so Zex doesn't know. She's even though she's a sympath, she's not paying attention at this juncture that there could be something wrong. So there, because she's also dealing with some stuff too. She's not really paying attention to John too much. So this guy, Zex meets Murder, and he's an old. She knows him from way back when, and he knows what happened to her way back when. What happened to her in the facility. Apparently, she was in one of those facilities too, and because of what happened to her, um Murder has been banished. He was had a bed and breakfast, and was the owner that was never seen. It was just he like slept in the basement or something like that, and no one ever saw him uh running his bed and breakfast, that type situation. So anyways, I can't really see without my glasses. Um, so anyway, Murder has been getting these letters in the mail from a female, and it turns out I need to lean a little. It turns out that she was the female that he rescued years ago, and she had been was being tortured in the biomed facility, and she gave birth to a son who was also being tortured in the biomed facility. And so 20 some odd years ago, uh, Murder had rescued Zex, and Murder had met during this particular situation. And the Brotherhood was mad at Murder, but because he never told them the whole story, that what had happened at the medical facility and what he did and why he did it. He never told them. He just accepted his punishment and slinked off. So he comes back because he's getting these letters from this female. And I guess I should warn you, I do spoilers. I, talk about the whole book. If it's a murder mystery, I don't tell you who done it, but with these books it's hard. I just tell the whole book. Oh, well, not the ending, but anyways, so Murder's been getting these letters, so he decides that he's gonna slink off and go talk to Wrath. And he talks to Wrath, and after some discussion and back and forth and negativity and stuff like that, they agree to help him to find the female. The female does not leave a return address on her correspondence. She just expects Murder to find her. In the meantime, Sarah has decided to venture into that room that she's never gone into before and discovers no wait, a key. She finds a key. And she goes to the bank, discovers her fiance had a security box that she never knew about. Goes in the security box, there's a USB stick. She reads the information of the USB stick and discovers what he had discovered. And she's trying to figure out if he was in, because she doesn't know if he was involved or not, what his role in the project was. She doesn't know any of this, and she's speculating all this stuff. And she's really frightened and determined that this needs to be corrected, that these people need to be accounted for. They've been torturing people, they've been doing this stuff to people. And she decides that she's going to go in and do something about it. In the meantime, Tor discovers John's injury, and he has to be go treated, and then everybody finds out about John and his injury. So they find the female, and she dies, and they have to go rescue her son. That's her. Please go rescue my son. She should have asked a lot sooner. She could have had some time with her son before it was too late. But so they go and do that. They're taking care of John. Murder meets Sarah, and they start to have a relationship. A friendship starts off. Um, John has seizures when he sees Murder for the first time. Murder calls John Darius for a second. Says there's a lot about John that is like Darius. He does later find out that John is descended from Darius, and that explains all the similarities. But every time John sees him, or the first time anyway, he has the old seizure, like when he saw Beth. So Zex and Murder go to rescue the boy. They find the evil doctor. They take care of the evil doctor. They get with Sarah, and she helps them with the doctor. They go take her back to the Brotherhood to treat the boy. And so we're doing, I remember it had happened in the previous book. But I was getting into the story, and I was worried about John. I was worried about this kid, and Sarah, and I was getting into the story, and we were flowing along, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, Thor comes in, or Throw, and I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, I forgot. He's the one controlling the shadows. I just it took a couple of paragraphs. I'm like, oh, that's right. But they keep calling it the Book of Shadows. And I think of the Book of Shadows from Charms. That's what I think of the Book of Shadows from Charms. I don't think of it as evil here, but it is evil here. And I'm thinking of the Book of Shadows from Charm. So they rescue Nate, and Sarah is gaining a bond on Nate and a bond with Murder. They reveal, um, Murder reveals who they are and what they. And Sarah's just all fascinated. She's not scared by any of it. She wants to do the medical research. She wants to help cure John. And when they first approach, when Murder first approaches Wrath for permission to keep Nate and Sarah, they tell him no because they are still pissed off at him for what happened 20 years ago. He had killed humans and burned down facilities and stuff when they're not supposed to interfere with humans. But of course, like I said previously, Wrath and the guys didn't know what had happened. So Zax, I believe it's Zax, goes in and confesses all to the Brotherhood and explains the situation. And once she does all that, then the Brotherhood decide to accept Murder and Sarah and Nate. We also have John a little going through his thing and being sick. So I'm gonna leave that to you uh to find out, to read the book. If they cure John and how they cure John, and if Murder and Sarah are allowed to stay together. Although, if you've read all 17 previous books, you'll know that they'll eventually find a way to be together. And I would thought maybe they would go back and run the B&B together, but the Brotherhood needs fighters. And there's also a surprise situation at the end with the Shadow. Something happens with Throw and the Shadows. And that was interesting. And then there's an interesting thing with John. And Murder helps to save John. So that's interesting. I'll leave that to you to find out. And there was one other thing and I lost it. So that's basically, you got your Murder and Sarah relationship, and Nate. They're gonna make a family group dynamic, I believe. And John with his sickness, and Zex's revelation, how that will affect everybody, and what happens with Sarah and Murder, and the kid, what happens with the kid. He does go through his transition, and they worry if he'll survive that after all the treatment he's been through. It was a really really good book. I enjoyed it. It took a couple days, and we're gonna go catch up with Zax Trez, one of the Shadow Brothers, in Where Winter Finds You, and then we will move on to the Sinner. We are doing these in order. This is Sin's book, and I will tell you that when I see the name Sin, now this is spelled with an S, and I will probably mention it when I do the video review, that Sherilyn Kenyon in her League series has a Sin, and Laurel K. Hamilton also has a Sin in her series, and her guy is violent and sexual. So we'll see what happens. So, book 17, right? Let me just double check. Yep, book 17 is done. I hope you've watched all the podcasts. We've started with Darius, the new one. I mean, we knew what was going to happen because we'd all read Dark Lover. So we went from Dark Lover from Darius to Dark Lover, and so on. I've I had to, if you watched a video a couple weeks ago, I did a Catherine Feehan book haul, and I had to make room over here for all those, so I shifted all the books over. Uh, but I thought I had a good thing going, but this chick posted a picture on Facebook this morning. Oh, good Lord. She lives out in the country, and her whole house is wooden bookcases. I was like, oh, that'd be awesome. So, anyways, if you could please hit the like and subscribe, and have a good day.